What's the situation?
I haven't got the car yet. Hopefully it's coming soon. You said there'll be something. So, yeah, just waiting. I'm sure it'll happen.
Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion, your host, the Hut, and this, of course, is the Baseball Hut 2. I need you to subscribe and like this video and watch it as well, and let me know what you think about it. So, as you know, I'm a Mets fan, and I wasn't going to do this on the big channel. I figured I'd do this on the little channel. Not that this is a little channel. I'm doing pretty good here. I'm doing pretty good here on this channel. I can't thank you enough for watching. But I'm going to talk about Francisco Lindor. I have read a rather strange story about him. I hope this is not a sort of a window into what's going on in this Mets team. I think we all kind of agree that there's a bit of a problem with the leadership on this team, I think. Let's go back a little bit. For 6 years, he was with the Cleveland Indians. And he was 4-time All-Star, 3-time, 2-time Gold Glove winner. I think he's going to win a Gold Glove this year with the Mets, by the way. Had a lot of MVP votes. If you look at his numbers since he's been with the Mets, everything is down. Now this year, he's had a very strange season. We'll get into that momentarily. His numbers, his batting average, slugging percentage, OPS plus, the stuff that sort of, you can kind of like add it into subtraction, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and you really get a dig very deeply into his numbers. Give you an example. He's a career 273 hitter, okay? His career with the Cleveland Indians, and they were the Indians then, was 285. With the New York Mets, in 355 games, he's hitting 245. 40 points lower than what he did in Cleveland, and 28 points lower than his overall average. His on-base percentage with the Cleveland team was 346. With the New York Mets, it's 323. It's 23, and this is overall over these 355 games. 323. His slugging percentage with the Indians was 488 over 777 games. And with the New York Mets, it's 429. 3 of the 6 years, Lindor had a slugging percentage of over 500. And 2 of the 3 years, he hit over 300, with his first year being in 99. In 2015, he played 99 games, was second in the Rookie of the Year voting. 2017, 18, 19, his slugging percentage was over 500. His OPS in his career, overall, is 809. With the Cleveland team, it was 833, and with the New York Mets, it's 752. 81 points lower than it was. And it is 57 points lower than it is in his overall career, his OPS. His OPS plus, which is, it's a weird kind of statistic. It's kind of new to baseball. It measures you against other players. His overall OPS plus is 116, which means that he is 16% higher than the average major leaguer in the history of Major League Baseball in 1,132 games. With the Cleveland team, it was 118 OPS plus, meaning he was 18% higher when he's with the Cleveland team. Now with the New York Mets, it's 110. Which means he's 10% low. It's 10% better than the average major leaguer. Over the last 3 years with the New York Mets, his OPS plus was 100, which means he was average. 126 was what his, and these are offensive numbers. It's not defensive metrics. It was 126 last year, and this year it's 93, 7% lower than the average major leaguer. Now, I would point out he's had a lot on his plate from what I heard last night, and he's not playing on Saturday. I believe his wife's going into labor, so maybe that's the reason why his numbers are so low. But it doesn't account for the fact that he's played poorly the other 2 years. In 2021, this is where this weird story comes up. His first year with the team, we know about the whole story with the thumbs down with Javi Baez, his friend, when he was traded here. We know that Lindor did not like being booed by the fans. Down in 2022, when he hit a grand slam in April, he was not all boisterous and smiling and happy, and he didn't come out for curtain call, even though the fans wanted him to take a curtain call. We know that he does not like that kind of criticism, because obviously he didn't get that in Cleveland. There's not a lot of press there. There's not a lot of stress there. But he has not taken well to that. I think we kind of agree to that. I think we can all agree to that. And also in 2021, early in the season, there was a kerfluffle between him and the Mets, Jeff McNeil. That they had some kind of disagreement on the field. They went off the field into the dugout, and there was a big sort of back and forth, and it turned out Lindor put his hands on the throat of McNeil. Now, things like this have happened over the course of 150 years in Major League Baseball. We know that players don't get along with each other. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. That's for sure. But with Lindor, we've seen some sort of disappearing during big games. Would have been nice if he had a big hit against the Braves last year. It would have been nice, other than Game 2, that he would have had a better series against the Padres. He basically, he had an okay September last year, but it wasn't really something that, oh man, he had a big September and the Mets didn't play well. He's just sort of invisible numbers. He has not played well at all this year. Offensively, he has been terrible. Just to go over his numbers here, I have baseball reference here. Currently, he's hitting .211 over 69 games. He's played all of the Mets games except for today. I don't think he'll be playing today. He might not be playing tomorrow. He might be going on maternity leave. Who knows? But he's hitting .211 with an on-base percentage. Get this, .289. And his slugging percentage is .700. This is not the player the Mets traded for. This is not a guy that we all sort of... This guy, I mean, people thought that he was going to be good. I had my reservations about the deal just based off of, just looking at the numbers and just sort of a gut feeling about him. And plus, the history of the Cleveland organization is they don't trade anybody good. They're a very, very sneaky organization. They would get rid of players before their value was completely gone. They don't hang on to anybody. So I was not surprised, and I haven't been that surprised at how he's performed offensively to a certain degree. I didn't think it would be this bad, really, over the course of the first year and obviously this year. But going back to Jeff McNeil had a tough year in 21. He's trying to hit home runs. I think he's putting a lot of pressure on himself now. I think that's why he's only hitting .270. I think he's got to take he's got a big contract on his his play as well. But I think he'll get over that. But they had this fight. Instead of like saying after the game, because it was noticeable in the dugout, there was back and forth. Everybody knew it. The players looked pissed off about it. And then after the game was over, they joked about it and they said they couldn't decide if it was a rat in the clubhouse or a possum in the clubhouse. Just be honest. That goes back to the maturity of Lindor as a player, and also this idea of the thumbs down. It kind of goes back to that immaturity that we have here. Now, I think a lot of people have noticed that this Mets ball club, there's a real maturity issue here, and there's a real toughness problem here. Now, Jeff McNeil last year won the batting title. In May, he was doing a good job, and Lindor promised him that he would buy him a car if he won the batting title. This was in May. McNeil won the batting title on the final day of the season. I forget who he beat out. It doesn't matter who he beat. He won the batting title. And he won the batting title for all of baseball. Had the highest batting average in Major League Baseball last year. I will say this. It's going to be very tough to beat Zaraez with the batting title. He's probably going to get awfully close to 400. I don't think he's going to get there, but he's going to get awfully close. But Lindor promised him a car. And so far, he has not delivered on that promise. And that was May. He had the whole offseason to promise him and buy him a car. He had all spring training. We're now in June. The only reason this popped up is that this kid from, I guess, works for the 7 line asked him in an interview during a charity event that McNeil had in the city if he got in the car. And McNeil and you saw the video at the beginning of this, he hasn't gotten it. So this kind of makes me wonder, again, about the leadership qualities of this player. Is he all talk? Is he all talk? Is he a guy that is a phony? Because only a phony would say, I want to get your car, and it doesn't do it. And these guys, how much money is Lindor getting? $340 million over 10 years? And he can't take the time to order a car for McNeil? You make a promise, and it's a public promise, folks. He publicly promised him. This wasn't something behind closed doors. I wouldn't have known about it. None of us would have known about it. But it's known now. He said he was going to buy him a car. He hasn't. And he keeps telling McNeil, I'm going to get you one. I'm going to get you one. When somebody does that, I think we know people like this. When they say they're going to do something and it's been almost over a year and they haven't done it, don't expect it. Jeff McNeil should expect this car, and it says something about the player and as a leader. If this guy was a true leader, he would have gotten him that car as quickly as he would have presented him that car in spring training. He did not do that. Now, with the season going on, he's not going to do it, and he's certainly not going to do it while his wife is in labor. Yeah, honey, I don't care about the new baby. He's not going to do it. He's going to give himself an excuse not to do it. So this, again, I'm very troubled by Lindor. Lindor has shown himself to be very immature here. You've got to be really tough to play here. Weird kind of stuff like this doesn't fly in other cities where they don't care. The Cleveland fan base, God bless them, they don't care about this kind of stuff. And there's a reason why they haven't won in 80 years or whatever it's been. Because they don't care about this stuff. This is important stuff. When you make a promise to someone, a big promise, you got to keep it, especially if you can afford it. Well, you let me know what you think about this video. I will slam Lindor because I'm not a big fan of his anyway. Strikes out way too much in my view. In 69 games for the Mets this year, he struck out 68 times. It's one strikeout a game. It's pathetic. Well, this channel's not pathetic. I need you to subscribe to it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.